Welcome back to Sandra Sells and Tells, where we dive into the real stories, real people, and real estate of America's hometown, Plymouth, Massachusetts. I'm your host, Sandra Smith, your global real estate advisor with Gibson Sotheby's International Realty. And today we're exploring the magic behind transforming a house into a home that buyers fall in love with. I'm joined by an incredible guest, Cheryl Terrill, a home designer with Hood Remodeling who helps bring listings to life. We're going to go behind the scenes, talking transformation, trends, and all things to help sell that home for top dollar. All right. Well, welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you, Sandra, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. I've known you for so long from other lives.
Yes, definitely other lives.
You have always had a talent and a flair for designing and staging and all the fun things. You've designed a lot of beautiful things.
Yes, I'm very fortunate.
And tell me again, and the audience, who do you work for?
Hood Custom Home Design and Hood Remodeling.
So what is part of your role there?
I'm their lead designer.
Okay.
So anything design related, I help to handle that, process that, dream it, make it come to fruition.
So if I said, hey, I want to redo my kitchen, but I don't know where to start. Colors, ideas, backsplash, all of that good stuff. That's where you come in?
Absolutely. Yep. We have you come into the showroom, which is on Long Pond Road, and walk you through the entire process, help you pick out all of your finished goods, put everything together in a full package, and it makes it so that it's absolutely stress-free for our customers.
I like that. What if I change my mind during the process?
That does happen a lot.
I'm quite sure.
I don't want blue anymore. I want green. So that is absolutely not a problem. As long as we haven't ordered anything per se, then we are okay to change that process and or change that color. And you can come right back in and we'll walk you back through and make sure everything's perfect before we pull the trigger.
Okay, awesome. I have so many questions, and I've actually made a list of them, and I haven't asked you any of them yet because it's just so interesting to me to what you do, and I've seen a lot of your guys' finished work. So feel free to ad lib at any time as I ask you any of these questions, or if you don't want to answer it, you can tell us that too. So tell us a bit about how you got into home design.
I had a mom that was a do-it-yourselfer and a father who was an engineer. So my mom learned how to do things like hang wallpaper, lay tile, paint, sew, make curtains, all those kinds of things. So I was doing that at a very young age. I think the first time I helped put in a floor, I was 11 years old. And then my dad, on the flip side, was an engineer. So he had the drafting table and all those tools. So I was constantly playing with all of those things. And ironically, in my office, I have a picture that I drew when I would think I was 8. And it's a little abstract, but it's interesting that was clearly my desire and passion, but I didn't go to school for that. I went to school for business and did a lot of other things, but later in life, like a lot of people, was able to create my profession from my passion, which has always been design.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. And between parents with both of those professions, I'm sure you learned a lot.
Yes, yeah.
The engineer mind never ends.
No.
And you never get a simple answer.
No.
You got to learn. I've been with the engineer mind before, and it's not easy, but you learn. You learn
lots of tests.
So much, and that probably helps with your designing
Absolutely.
And the space and all of that. So that's great that you
the measurements were the key component there. So, and then I took classes as an adult to help me with the design and even, staging classes when I was doing that several years ago. So there's a lot of options out there for you if you want to change your career path and go a different direction, which is what I did.
Awesome. Very good. So which rooms make or break a home's first impression?
Well, I'd say the first thing is curb appeal. When you drive up to a house, the house has to be appealing to you and whatever you consider to be appealing. So that is the first thing. And
I want to clap on that one because I say that all the time to sellers. You can never change your first impression.
Correct.
So when they're driving by or they're walking up to your door, what are they seeing?
You have to like it or you're not going to even pull in the driveway.
Yeah,
right?
no, not at all.
Pull in the driveway, but cross that one off your list and not even giving it an opportunity to see the inside.
Even though they say it's what's inside that counts.
I know.
Doesn't matter. A lot of people will go right past
exactly.
that.
Yeah, they do.
Awesome.
And then I'd say the second piece would be wherever you're walking into the home, whether it be through your front door or the side door, because that's your first impression of the inside of the home. And then after that, it's the main components, the main bones of the home. So what's going to cost you the most money if you had to fix something there, for example, like your kitchen? That's a big ticket item as far as the cost is concerned. Even your furnace, your air conditioning and things like that. So all of those things are key components. And yes, this house is on my maybe list or my yes list, or it's absolutely off my list. And then, of course, your bathroom. That's the other component that can be expensive if you have an outdated bathroom as well.
Agreed. Kitchens and baths, I always say you're going to get your best rate of return on those two things.
Yes, absolutely.
I just actually received an offer this morning on one of the listings, and the home's in great shape, very well maintained, but 20 years old. And the buyer was just like, well, I'm going to have to update the bathrooms. And it's everybody's personal taste, but the taste that was 20 years ago might not be today's modern taste.
Right. I mean, we are seeing a lot of retro things coming back, but it could be a little bit too far, in the right field and wouldn't appeal to everybody.
So when you say retro coming back, are the pink and blue bathtubs going to be here to stay?
Gosh, no.
Because I still see some of those.
I know. We definitely have a lot of those, especially in New England. No, those aren't coming back. But the appliances in different colors are definitely coming back.
Yeah, I have seen that. Some are cool. But again, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
No, it's not. Right.
So that's awesome.
And if you're selling a home, you want to have it be as neutral as possible so that it appeals to as many buyers as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Speaking of all of that, what are some of the favorite trends right now and what needs to go? So let's start with what's the favorite trends right now?
So we're seeing a lot of mixed metals, which is really fun. So, at one point it was like, okay, if I'm using brushed nickel, everything has to be brushed nickel in my home. And that's not the case anymore. And sometimes we're seeing, 3-4 different types of metals from, the honey bronzes to the matte black and then the stainless. So they're mixing all of those things in. We're also seeing a lot more earth tones right now, which is nice. It's a little bit warmer tones and a lot of wood. So it could be wood cabinetry. It could be wood accents you can doing on your wall or in various different places in your home to really give that
like a wood accent on your home, on your wall that you just said. What's an example of that?
So you could do a slat wall system just on like the back, as an example, in your living room where you're hanging up your TV on your wall. You could do something in back of that to really make that
like
pop.
shiplap?
It could be shiplap, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Or something different. I didn't know if there was something different. I love shiplap.
Yeah, we do a lot of shiplap, and we paint shiplap in various different colors. We also can get it so it's a wood, actually a wood species, so we can stain it. So there's a lot of different options out there for wood to really soften and warm things up.
All right, very good. So what needs to go?
Well, a lot of people are saying your white cabinets need to go and your black countertops need to go. So
I have heard that.
Yeah. So
buyers looking, I have heard that.
Yeah. So I will say that as much as everyone is telling us that white cabinets need to go, they're not going anywhere. They're just not.
Some people still really love them.
People love them.
Fresh,
they want
clean look.
Exactly. They want to brighten up their kitchen. But we're not seeing the black countertops anymore so much.
Okay.
They're really, again, trying to have a softer approach to the kitchen. So it's still bright and airy, but it still is trendy and not so trendy that, it won't appeal to every buyer. But we're not seeing that black and white component as much. Okay. So that's what I'd say is probably going as far as that's concerned.
So when you say countertops, I know granite was always, gotta have granite, but there's so many other options now. So what are the top 3?
Quartz is absolutely the top thing that's being installed. Granite, we see very, very little granite going in these days. It's not as user-friendly, so it has to be sealed. It can stain, a variety of different things you have to consider when you're using granite versus when you're using quartz. You don't need to do any of that. It's very, very versatile.
Okay. Very good. Is it the most expensive?
No, definitely not. There's just like with everything, there's price ranges, from very affordable to, out of this world and everything in between. So that's one of the things that we do is help our customers stay within their price points and their budgets. And we, point them in the right direction. Here, maybe you should look at this one versus that one. And they look very similar, but their prices can be different.
Okay. So does anybody want Formica?
No. Unless it's, in a place that we're not using a lot. But very rarely do we see anything with a Formica. And actually, in some cases, Formica can be more expensive than quartz.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Because it's harder to find.
It is not as popular.
Don't get it out of an old house.
Yes.
A lot of old houses still have it.
Right. They do. Yes. We take a lot of that out of homes, and replace it with quartz typically.
I bet. Okay. What is a quick, inexpensive upgrade that instantly elevates a space?
Define inexpensive.
That's right, because every budget is different.
Every budget is different. So let's just take a kitchen, for example.
Yep.
A very simple thing you could do there is, and if you're thinking about selling your home, since we are on your podcast, we should talk about selling your home, right?
Yeah.
So clean off your countertops. Don't have a lot of things on there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you
Say
didn't
it
pay
again.
me. You didn't pay me to say that. Clean them off. Have almost nothing on there. If you have a backsplash, make sure your grout is clean, right? So it looks like it's fresh grout. Change your hardware on your cabinetry if it's older. And if you can keep the same holes.
It is such a simple fix.
It's very simple. It's very inexpensive. And then paint your walls a nice, soothing color, neutral color. And then it will make it look like you've almost redone your kitchen, but you haven't done hardly anything to it.
Yeah. Even my photographers, when at a listing, it's like, let's clean it off. I met a photographer yesterday for a new listing that just came on, and we had to take off 5 appliances.
Yeah.
And it was a small kitchen, but I'm like, that's a lot of appliances.
It is,
to have out daily, because you don't use your rice cooker daily, your crock pot daily.
No, it's just convenient. It's just convenient.
Yeah.
When we're designing kitchens
when we live
for people,
there.
Right, when we live there. And when we're designing kitchens for people, we actually, help them with relocating those things and finding a space in a home for all of those components so that they can be sometimes hidden behind a door or a cabinet or, whatever the case may be, so they don't have to be out, but they can be easily accessible.
I've seen that in some homes. It's so cool. You open it up and you're like, oh,
yes.
It's not the remember the old homes had the bread closet,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Now that's where like a blender goes or your NutriBullet to make your morning protein shake, like whatever. But
we go with our customers. We go through everything that they have in their home, whatever room it is, and then, okay, where are we going to put this? And we help them find a home for it within their home. And a lot of times that helps with decluttering too. Yeah. So they have to clean out that space for us to come in and do what we need to do. So they're having to go through those things and decide, keep or toss, so that helps with the decluttering and then helping us to relocate and find a new home for it.
I like that. I like that a lot, but it definitely makes a huge difference when you can do that. So those are the quick and inexpensive. You said update your hardware, make sure things are clean.
Yes. Yeah.
And put away.
Yes.
Because that will make a huge difference. And you can do that same thing in a bathroom.
You can do it in any room in your house.
Yeah. Well, good point.
Yeah. Any room in your house.
Good
Even,
point.
If you have bifold closet doors, you can put on really fun hardware on your bifold closet doors in your bedroom to make it look different. And again, paint it a nice neutral color so it looks refreshed. Keep your bedding very simple. Don't have crazy posters on the walls in your kids' rooms and things like that. It makes a huge difference.
Let's talk about bedrooms for a second. How many throw pillows on the bed and blankets on the end?
Are you asking me personally or professionally?
And blankets on the end of the bed. I see it in so many photos where they're displayed a certain way. Either it used to be on the corner and now it's like almost a bow in the middle, or I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing it more and more. So what is...
I think simple is better.
The thing with that.
It's simple is better, cleaner. Everybody has their own preference, but in this case, if you're selling a home, I would say defer to your realtor and whatever they're thinking is the right way for you to stage that space. That's what I would recommend doing, because we all have our own different way of doing things, but clean, simple, fresh lines are always a plus.
Very true. I say to people all the time, people can't see past your stuff,
Yes,
and they
very
can't
true.
imagine theirs here.
Right.
So
That happens with us too.
Going on, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How's my bed going to fit in there?
Right. Yes. They need to know that, a queen-size bed could fit in there comfortably with potentially 2 nightstands and a bureau.
Yeah.
Okay, I have room for all those things. But if they can't figure out if it's going to fit, then it's not going to be an option for them.
Okay. And speaking of like all those throw pillows, so people have throw pillows on their couch and they do the chop in the middle. Is that still a thing?
No, not really. I mean,
where the heck did that come from?
You're seeing it a little bit.
Idea.
I think the home improvement shows are just like adding
that's
that.
True.
You see it a little bit, but it's more of a positioning and making sure that it looks appropriate. But no, we're not really seeing a chop in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
Fun if good way to get some energy out, but no.
Get some energy out, that's true. I did that in one of my videos once.
You did?
Chopping the pillows.
Oh, I love it.
Don't show up early till I'm ready. Yeah, it was fun. All right, so if a seller only has $500 to $1,000, what should they prioritize? This might tie into our last question, but prioritize to get their house ready to sell. Very limited budget.
Yeah, it goes back to what we said before, was to clean up your space. I think number one, invest in totes and put the things in the totes
or donate.
Yeah,
or trash.
Right. Whatever works. So declutter for sure and go through that process, which can be hard and emotional, but it's necessary. And that's what the first thing I would recommend. And then the simple things, like we said, the cleaning and, maybe change out some hardware or paint where they need to. Because if someone has a, bold teal wall, that might not work for every buyer. And they'll, unfortunately, will walk in and see that, oh my gosh, I don't like that paint color. So then they don't like the house, which is crazy to me because it's just paint and it's very simple to replace. But some people feel like it's just a turn off and they won't.
Paint can be overwhelming to people. Like, I don't like to paint. I'll gladly pay somebody to paint for me, right?
Well, we'll help you if you need it.
that's right. You guys could do it all.
We can, yeah.
Which I love. But clean lines, a fresh coat of paint always makes a huge difference. I say that. And there's little things that you don't notice because you live there daily in and out. But the corners of every room, going in and out of rooms, gets beat up all the time from you moving stuff, kicking it, dogs, kids, whatever. If you look at the corners of it, all of you right now listening, get out there. Look at the corners in your room and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't notice it because
get beat up. So having all of that, just a fresh coat of paint makes like a huge difference. I agree with you 100% on the natural colors.
And again, they should defer to their realtor, like you, to say, what should I do? This is my budget. And you can help them to make the right decisions.
And I do have a toolkit of ideas and suggestions that I get from great people like you or people that I've met along my way. There's a great team. And I know people that I'm overwhelmed. I can't do any of this. I know people that can help with that as well, too. Yeah. So
we help a lot of people during that transition.
Yeah, because it can be overwhelming. And you kind of touched on, too, you said it can be emotional, which is true. So we're asking people, okay, you have to move. And some are ready for that next chapter in their life to move, and some are not. But it is emotional if they've been there for 20, 40, 50 years.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm always like, well, you haven't opened that box for 4 years in the basement.
Or longer, yes. We're all guilty of that. We all have one of those boxes.
We all have stuff, I call, right? And I tell people every day to get rid of stuff. And I still do currently, as we speak, in my back seat is stuff to be dropped off at Savers because I'm always getting rid of stuff, right? For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because we don't need it.
No.
You think you're going to need it or use it or whatever. And if you really dug deep in my car, you would see that you would survive if we got stranded because I have something in case we do. You need Advil, Band-Aids, a straw.
Well, I'll have to follow you from now on.
Water, snacks. I live in my car, but we hold on to stuff and we don't need to hold on to a lot of that stuff. Of course, everybody has special memories in a memory box. And I'm not saying get rid of your memories like that.
No.
But
sometimes take
concert tickets that you saved for,
Take a photo of those and leave it, have it printed if you're like
So much
print
you can do with
photos or put it
photos
on
now,
your phone.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And do it that way versus
Even had
keeping
them
it.
made in a video, those old photographs that we have. You
Yes.
can take them to a place and they'll put them on a
Yes,
video
I know,
for
it's
you.
amazing. And even
Yeah.
making books out of them, there's so many things that you can do that won't
idea
take up as
too.
much space in your house. And if you have family members and you're getting rid of things, you can ask them if they want anything too. So you're, passing it along if it's important in your,
Yeah.
hierarchy of your family.
If they'll take them, because that's another funny
Right.
thing that you say, because parents will be like, I want to give my dining room set and
Right.
hutch
Yes.
to my kids, and the kids don't want it.
Right. Right.
They don't want that stuff.
No.
They want their own stuff.
They do.
They have simpler, modern style now. And the stuff is beautiful, and they paid good money for it, but nobody really wants your stuff or your
No.
collection
Right.
of dowels or
Right.
Hummels or
Yes.
precious moments, whatever it may be.
Yes.
They don't
And that's
wanna
emotional
have to
for
go through
them, not that nobody
Yeah.
wants it either, right?
It's so true.
It's very tough, but someone will want it somewhere and you can find a good home for it. It's just having someone help you find a good home for it.
Right. And both me and you guys have people
Yes.
in our toolbox that can help them with that and connect them with that person to help them go through that. Sometimes they sell it for them too, and they make some money off of it because some of the stuff is valuable.
It is. Yes. Yes,
and
it is.
some people really do want those things. So that's great. That's great. All right, this is all good stuff. A couple more questions. We don't want to keep people too long because we understand we all have time to do other things in our life, but it's fun to learn. What would you say is the wildest or funniest experience you've had designing?
The first thing comes to mind isn't really design related, but it was because we were designing in this home that this actually happened when we were there. So we were working in a bathroom and we had all the supplies delivered to the customer's home. And we were there for a preliminary meeting with our tile installer and had the garage door open, and the homeowner had a dog. And the dog was there. And as you know, we all love dogs. We're a dog-friendly company and, just enjoying our conversations and playing with a dog in the interim. And then all of a sudden, the dog grabbed a bag of grout and ran into the yard with it and was just like whipping it around in his head.
My
and it
gosh.
broke open the bag and it went everywhere. And there was like nothing any of us could do. It was the funniest thing
My
ever.
gosh.
So that probably is my funniest experience with,
He had to have a
working.
tubby.
Yeah, everybody. It was just,
Yeah, everybody did.
and it's
in the yard.
yeah, I don't even know,
Oh my
why he
gosh.
did it, but it was quite comical. So that was probably the funniest experience I've had.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That leads me to another question that just popped in my head about design trends, which is doggy wash stations in homes.
Yeah.
I've seen that in some
Yes.
homes if you have the space. Are you seeing more of that?
Not a lot of it, but we definitely see it if you have the space. And because
Yeah.
you have to allocate, an area for that. If you're taking out a tub and a shower and you can do, some kind of combo with one of those, that works. But we're doing it typically we're doing it in the laundry room is where we're finding most of
Okay.
the time where we're
Which
putting
would
it.
make sense.
Yes.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to be near
Yeah.
a water line.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
I've seen that in a few, and I'm like, I would love to have that. I just don't have the space at my
It's nice to
place,
have
but-
that dedicated space for the pet for
Yeah.
sure. And we've done them so they're up a little bit higher, so you're not bending over to try to, like, most people will put their dog in a tub.
Yeah.
So, and we all know how that's
Yeah, that's
not
fun.
a fun experience
Especially
at
if you have a big
all.
dog, and we have a
Yes.
big dog.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's how my husband washes our dog, but I do it in the walk-in shower. It's much more easy for me.
Yes. Well, we'll come by and see if we can find a space for you because
All
we're
right.
really good at doing that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. You never know, right? Never
Right.
say never.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see what other questions I have for you. Well, one was on clutter, but we've already talked about that. What's something that you want to share that we haven't touched on?
I think we've touched on a lot of things. We are a company that is a complete design build company, so we can do something as simple as change your doorknobs to build your new home and everything in between. The only thing that we don't do is hardscape and landscape, but we can do everything else inside and outside your home. And a lot of
So
people
like decks.
decks,
Yep.
flooring, windows, doors. A lot of people don't know that about us. And they
That's
also,
true.
yeah, they don't. And we often have people come into our showroom, and we've been there since 2018, and they don't even know that we're there.
Wow.
So that's always, something that we are always working on. And part of the reason we're doing things like this and, doing different things in social media to continue to get the word out there that we're there. Our owner and contractor, Kevin Hood, has been in business for over 35 years, and he's been here in Plymouth working. So a lot of people know him.
Yep.
And so it's now just, continually connecting the dots to that it's him, leading the charge for all the rest of us.
He's very well known in the community.
Yes.
And it's funny that you say that. People drive by you like all day long, but they don't know it and they don't see it. So definitely would encourage going in there and checking it out, the showroom, and seeing all that you have. But I talk to people all the time, and they'll be like, "Oh, Hood did this," Hood did this. So it's nice to see that. And I know you guys do quality work, but like I said from the very beginning, I love making a house look nice, but I don't have those ideas or that, what color goes with this or that. I'll see it in a house and be like, oh, I like that. I want that, right? I just don't have the vision like you do and putting it all together. So it's nice to know you guys have designers such as yourself. How many of you do you have now?
We have 2 designers.
You have 2 designers.
And
that's awesome.
we even come in and do consultations for people for a small fee if they need that, to help them, hey, how do I, make this work for me? What colors do I need? How do I set this up? Whatever the case may be, we can do that for them too. I'm actually doing one this afternoon on a commercial property. So we actually work in commercial and residential.
That's great to know.
Yeah. So as an example, recently, within the last couple of years, we did the Pine Hills Golf Club. So anybody goes in there, that's 100% Hood Remodeling and Hood Custom Home Design in there.
Everything in the whole building, not just the restaurant?
We did the whole building.
That's amazing. It's gorgeous in there. Gorgeous.
Even the little, what looks like the chapel outside on the far left where I think people get married, we built that for them too.
Wow.
So it looks like a faux chapel, even though it's a storage space. So
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we did a little bit of everything.
Wow. Yeah. So listeners out there, those around in the Plymouth area too, go check that out if you want to take a look at some of their work, but also stop in the showroom at any time and take a look at it. So you guys can do everything except for landscaping.
Correct. Yep.
So if you need a deck, you need a kitchen, a bath, some hardwood floors. You said doorknobs. That makes a huge difference too. That's a great little tip. I did that in my own house. Like I had the old brass doorknobs, right? The doors were pretty solid. They're pretty good. And I didn't have it in the budget at the time to replace all the doors. But I replaced the doorknobs and the hinges, right? With
smart.
Like the metals you were talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing them in the matte black. And then
that's what I did.
And then painting their doors. So it looks like you have a brand new door. In your door.
I did not. Well, I think they were painted when I had a painter do everything. But it's simple little tips like that. You're coming into a house, you're like, this is 1980s. But if you change those, it really makes a huge difference. Even the light switches.
Yes.
There's so many little tips like that
and lighting,
will make a difference.
And lighting. You can
lighting
go to,
huge.
A big box store. Like, let's just talk about over your vanity, right? You have a single light over the mirror in your vanity. You can go and buy a $50 light and change that out, and it will change the look of your bathroom.
So true. So true. It's all those little tips that are going to make a huge difference.
Yes.
When you're going to sell your house. You wanna sell it quicker. Those little differences, you're gonna get that money back in your pocket.
Talk to you, Sandra. You'll help them.
I will help them.
You'll direct them as needed.
And if they want to take the project on and spend the money to do it, that's when we call you guys in.
We'll be there for you.
But I love it. Anything else about Hood Remodeling that you want to tell us about before we kind of wrap up?
I don't know. I think that there's no job too small or no job too big for us. We do anything of any size. And
what's your territory?
That's a really good question. So we do a lot of work in Plymouth. That's our primary location, obviously. But we'll go up, into Marshfield and go down to the bridge. We prefer not to go over the bridge, especially in the summertime. But we'll do that if it's a, referral or friends and family kind of thing. But typically up into Marshfield and then, down to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Well, before we wrap up, we always end with something to help our listeners become smarter homeowners.
Ooh.
And that's called the Key of the Week. Get it? Key?
Key of the Week.
Got to get that in there. So the key of the week this week is a staged home isn't about perfection. It's about perspective. Remove 20% of the items in any room, and you give buyers 80% more mental space to imagine their life in there. So I love that I had already thought of this key of the week, and a lot of the things that we talked about and you mentioned was to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about your key, so that's awesome.
Get rid of clutter, yeah. So that is our key of the week. Get rid of stuff, short and sweet. But remove 20% of the items in any room to give buyers more mental space to imagine their life there. So thank you so much for joining us today.
My
if
pleasure.
you loved this episode, make sure to follow Sandra Sells and Tells for more real stories, real estate, and real people from America's hometown. Huge thank you to Cheryl Terrill from Hood Remodeling and showing us how small changes can make a big impact. Until next time, keep smiling, keep dreaming, and keep the key to your next chapter close.